To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible, the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
Defensive back, a senior number 23, Mason Boothby. A linebacker, senior number 24, Jack Van Cosses. At defensive back, a sophomore number 28, Riley Sealand. At defensive end, a senior number 62, Maxwell Karps. And at nose tackle, a senior number 65, Jaden Gerardo.
After they do their stats, though. Or after their starters, anyway.
And now, here's your starting lineup for your Kuemper Catholic Knights. Senior, wide receiver number 1, Michael Kuemper. At wide receiver, at junior number 4, Carson Kenny. Wide receiver, a senior number 6, Ben Kirkin. Offensive tackle, a senior number 75, Bryce Wiskus. An offensive guard, at junior number 76, Sean Wittrock. At center, at junior number 61, Aiden Banami. At offensive guard, a senior number 59, Kyle Sendra. Offensive tackle, a senior number 51, Evan Adams. At quarterback, a senior number 12, B.J. Banami. Also at quarterback, a sophomore number 18, Brock Beatty. Running back, the senior number 2, Jake Franklin. Running back, the junior number 32, Kent Sanders. And linebacker, junior number 53, Tate Barrett. Kicker, senior number 16, Tommy Fitzsimmons.
All right.
Safety, a senior number 5, John Bates.
What are they doing?
An outside linebacker, senior number 10, Jake Earlbeck. A defensive end, a senior number 9, Will Simons. And a defensive tackle, junior number 60, Kobe Pierce.
Okay. Sorry. right, you ready? Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carroll Athletic Field in tonight's non-district matchup between the visiting Underwood Eagles and the home team, the Carroll Catholic Kuemper Knights.
This is your coach's box.
This is Andy Van Fossen, along with Cole Willard, and welcome everybody to tonight's game. Beautiful night here in Carroll. I'd be remiss if I was a little selfish here and looked across the field here. You can see the left side of the infield and the outfield of where the Eagles were able to play in the state tournament this year and ended up with the state runners-up. So got about 8 minutes before opening kick, and the color guard for Carroll, the American Legion of Carroll, will be bringing out the flags, and we will, looks like they're ready to go. So we'll be back with starting lineups here shortly. This is Digital Fuller Solutions. I'd say give it like 30 seconds or so, and then I can do the starters real quick. Come on, boys. The ads over. And welcome back to Carroll Athletic Field. We'll introduce the defensive starters for the Eagles, who come in with a record of 0-1 after a hard-fought, tough loss against number 1 2A Van Meter at home last week. The Eagles are coached by Nate McHaleson, assisted by Steve Raymond, Timothy Richard, Tyler Ritter, Trey Weiss, John Williams, John Tarks, and Kyle Knowlton. Defensive starters for the Eagles: number 1 at safety, senior Josh. Also at safety, number 3, junior Sam Schoening. At linebacker, number 5, senior Maddox Nelson. At defensive back, number 8, Easton Robertson, Jr. At middle linebacker, number 17, Nick McKenzie, he's a senior. Number 23, senior defensive back, Mason Boothby. Number 24, senior linebacker, Jack Van Fossen. Getting his first varsity start tonight, number 28, sophomore, Riley Sealock. Defensive end, Maxwell Tarks, number 62, is a senior. And at nose, senior, number 65, Jaden Kildevarta-Foot. You'll notice, if you're an Underwood fan, that a couple guys that played last week are a little banged up. Colin Van Tilburg usually plays the defensive end, is not able to play tonight. Gus Bayshore, number 7, will still be doing the kicking, but ended up with a broken hand last week. And David Kildevarta-Foot, who was center and got some time at the nose last week, had a reaction to a bite, and he's unable to play tonight. So Coach McHaleson's able to get some younger guys in there, and again, being the second game of the season, you can get some depth going, and they'll definitely help you if needed down the road. For the Kuemper Knights, they come in with a record of 0-1. They open their season at Bishop Heelan with a 19-22 loss. The offensive starters for Carroll Kuemper: number 1, senior Michael Kasperbauer, he's a wide receiver. Number 2, senior running back Jake Heisman. Number 4, junior wide receiver Carson Canny. Number 6, senior wide receiver Benjamin Green. At quarterback, number 12, DJ Vanami. He's a senior. He's a walk-on, going to be a walk-on tight end at the University of Iowa next fall, so he'll continue his career. Also a dual quarterback this year, number 18, Brock Bating, excuse me. He's a sophomore. Number 32, junior running back Kent Sanders. Offensive lineman number 51, Evan Adams, is a senior. At offensive line, number 59, Kyle Sudrup is a senior. At center, junior, number 61, Hayden Vanami. And the two remaining tackles, number 75, Bryce Wiskus is a senior. And number 76, junior, Shane Whitrock. So we're expecting a hard-fought, close game tonight with both teams coming off losses in the opening week, as well as getting ready to start district play here in a couple weeks. The Eagles will be at home for an early homecoming tilt with St. Albert, and the Carroll Kuemper Knights will host another WIC conference foe, and that is AHSTW. So we've got about 2.5 minutes to go. They're just finishing up the national anthem here, and when that's done, we'll get ready to kick off. You're listening to Fuller Digital.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Line judge, Jake Gillespie, and back judge, Derek Howard.
Ready?
Doing a fine job. David.
And welcome to Carroll Athletic Field to have the opening coin toss of the game. Spoiler alert, Underwood will be kicking off. So Kuemper will see the Carroll Kuemper offense getting ready to take the field for their first possession. Again, I forgot to mention the coaches for the Kuemper Knights. Head coach Ryan Steinkamp, assisted by Andrew Klink, Michael Murtis, Shane Vaughn, Tim Ryle, Russell Steinkamp, Kurt Brosme, Kyle Stevens, and Ryan Colleen. Schools last 2 years to play baseball, and Kuemper came down a couple times in the abbreviated 2020 season to a district game and then a game hosted by the Eagles. This is the second time that, at least in the last 2 years, that the Eagles have traveled north to play at Kuemper. Last year was the district outcome championship where Underwood came out victorious in that, but really starting to see a nice little rivalry being built here between the Knights and the Eagles. Heading out tonight to midfield for the Eagles captains. Number 24, Jack Van Fossen. Number 10, Garrett Lutt. Number 1, Josh Ravlin. Number 5, Maddox Nelson. And number 62, Max Starks. And for the Knights, number 51, Evan Adams. As well as number 2, Jake Heisman. Number 9, Will Simons. And number 12, DJ Vanami. Underwood won the toss and will defer. And as mentioned earlier, Kuemper will be receiving the kick. Glad everybody's able to make it out tonight. Beautiful night here. A little cooler than last time, but we're in the shade tonight, and we're able to see everything, hash marks, yard lines, the whole shebang-a-bang. So we're happy to be here tonight. Again, thank you to Cole Willard and all of our Underwood booster sponsors tonight. Do the best we can this season, being able to broadcast some away games as availability allows. So sit back, enjoy the next couple hours of week 2 of Iowa high school football.
Kicking off the new one will be number 7, Gus Bayshore. Back to receive for the Knights. Number 1, Michael Casper. Number 4, Carson Kenny. All right. Who's ready?
Doing for the Eagles, number 7, Gus Bayshore, back to receive for the Knights. Number 1, Michael Kasperbauer, and number 4, Carson Canny. Bayshore yards deep, and Kuemper will start 1st and 10 at their 20. Kuemper will be going left to right on your video screen. Underwood sets up in a 3-3-5. Trips look to the left. An interesting start to the game. DJ Vanami is not at quarterback. It's number 18, Brock batting. So a little trickery there by Coach Steinkamp. Nice opening run there. Pickup of 7 and 3. The lob pass from Baiting to Jake Heisman will be a down tackle by number 1, Josh Ravlin. Just getting going here. 11:28 remaining in the first quarter. Knights ball at the 33, 1st and 10. Offense, number 59, Taylor Hills, with the stop. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Sanders led with 87 yards on 24 carries, so expect him to be workload option tonight. Nice job by number 24, Jack Van Fossen, and number 28, Riley Seelock on the option. Don't see that much anymore with these spread offenses. Pick up about 2. We'll make it 3rd and 5. Last week, Van Fossen credited with 3.5 tackles, and as I mentioned in the opening, this is Seelock's first varsity start, so get an assist to Riley. Seelock and Van Fossen on the stop again of Kent Sanders. They're going to him about a yard short. We have 4th and 1 with 10 minutes remaining. Ball at the 42-yard line of Kuemper. Doesn't look like much of a hurry to get the punt team here, so Coach already ready to put a little pressure on the Eagle defense. Again, Kuemper rated this week 9th in 2A. Started out the year at 4th. Underwood dropped a number in 1A. Sanders on the carry. It's going to depend on where they mark at. Good penetration by 59, Taylor Hills. Looks like it's on the line. And they're going to take official. And number 4, Carson Canny, set to receive for the Knights. He's back at about his 13-yard line. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Boothby's kick goes out of bounds. And waiting to see where the official keeps going. Looks like he's going to stop dead at the 28-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Kuemper at the 28-yard line. Again, Brock Baiting still running the show for Kuemper. Kind of a surprise just with the fact of DJ Vanami's his pedigree and the way he's able to do so much on the offensive side with both his feet and his arm. 8 guys in the box for the Eagles. Sanders on the carry. Brought down by number 59, Taylor Hills. Pickup of about 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Nice story on Hills. He left almost immediately after school was out last year, went down to basic training for the National Guard, put on a little bit of muscle, and he's been a good welcome back addition for the Eagles. So up front, you've got Hills, Kildewater-Foot, and Jensen, linebackers, Van Fossen, McKenzie, and Nelson. The 3-3-5 look for Coach Ritter's defense. Baiting on the carry, looked like a little jet sweep action there. Graham Jensen stayed home to make the play, 3rd and 3 at the 35 of Underwood. Or excuse me, of Kuemper. Sanders on the carry. Van Fossen and Schoening on the stop there, not before Sanders carries for a first down. 1st and 10, Kuemper at the 43. 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter on a beautiful evening here in Carroll, Iowa. Empty set, baiting on the carry. Met right away by Max Tarks, number 62. Call it gain of maybe 1 on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 9 situation. Three and a half minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Kuemper with their second possession, baiting back to throw. Pass is incomplete, intended for number 1, Casper Bauer. Again, as coaches like to see, a lot of head coaches will say the biggest improvements between their first and second game, be it football, be it basketball. Football, you have that week to week, you got a lot to work on, heal up some stuff. You also got to work on yourself as well as preparing for other opponents. So be interesting to see if either one of these teams has any trick plays tonight. Baiting's pass was complete, but then dropped right away. The officials rule a fumble on the play, recovered by Van Fossen. And it looks like the Eagles will hold on to the football. So it'll be 1st and 10 Eagles at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 Underwood. First big play of the game goes in favor of the Eagles. Josh Ravlin in motion. Straight dive to Maddox Nelson. Nelson's got room to run. Strong run by Nelson into Kuemper territory, brought down by number 10, Jake Earlbeck. We've got a flag on the play, though. Holding call against the Eagles will be 10 yards from the infraction, so they'll lose 10 yards on the play, but they'll maintain their possession and maintain their down. So it'll be 1st and 1st and 15 for the Eagles at their 45. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Maddox Nelson in motion. Direct snap to Nelson. Again, nice defensive gap responsibility there by number 53, Tate Barrett. Be no gain on the play. Nelson on the carry. Good penetration there by the Knights, again, led by number 53, Tate Barrett. Pickup of a couple will be 3rd and 11. Again, Underwood tonight playing a little short-handed. Leo Casson in at center. Riker Dare, Grady Jones on the tackles. Colin Van Tilburg out with a calf injury. Hopefully he'll be back next week. 3rd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Lutt back to pass. Across the middle for Van Fossen. Pass is caught by Jack Van Fossen. Be a 1st and 10 Underwood at the 39-yard line. Good throw and catch by Lutt to Van Fossen. Really nice job of establishing a pocket there for the sophomore quarterback by the line. Maddox Nelson on the carry. Tate Barrett again on the stop. Looks like the game plan of the Kuemper Knights defense tonight is to make the Eagles one-dimensional and put the ball in the hands of Garrett Lutt. Okay, Garrett's a sophomore, Iowa baseball commit, all-state baseball player, facing in the second varsity starting action here. So interesting to see how this plays out. Lutt's pass to Boothby is ruled incomplete. Pressure by Vanami. 3rd and 9 with 1 minute and 9 seconds in a very quick moving first quarter here at Carroll. Trips to the near side for Lutt. Ravlin in motion. Lutt rolls out. Pass is complete to number 8, Easton Robertson. Robertson sometimes gets forgotten in this Eagle offense with as much firepower as they have remaining. Robertson, kind of a little scat back, really, really quick on his feet, as you saw there. Sat down in the zone. Lutt finds him. 1st and 10 Eagles. 50 seconds remaining here in the first quarter with Underwood. 1st and 10 at the Kuemper 19. Lutt rolls to his right. Touchdown, Underwood. As on cue, Lutt to Robertson from 19 yards out. Bayshore on to attempt the PAT. Van Fossen the snapper, Josh Ravlin the holder. Bayshore's PAT attempt is good. 27 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Underwood capitalizes on the Kuemper turnover and turns that into 7 points. We will be back right after this on Fuller Digital Solutions. Special thanks again to our Underwood sponsors tonight. Midline seed, John Tarks. Bayshore set to kick to Michael Kasperbauer and Carson Kinney. And Bayshore's kick, not quite as far as last time, but serviceable nonetheless. About 2 yards deep into the end zone. Will be a 1st and 10 for Kuemper at their 20-yard line. Again, Underwood coming off a valiant 21-14 loss against number 1 2A Van Meter. The Eagles were able to put some points up. Van Meter just kind of turned off the switch towards the third quarter and put up 21 unanswered. Was able to run out the clock for the victory last week. Sanders on the carry. No, excuse me, that's number 27. I apologize. Oh, there he is. Cason Pierce. Cason Pierce, the ball carrier for the Knights. Gain of 1 on the play. And that looks like it'll be the end of the first quarter as the clock hit 0. So after 12 minutes of football, Underwood on the road leading Carroll Kuemper 7-0.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
And welcome back here to Carroll Athletic Field. Danny Van Fossen along with my stat man, film man, ad man, madman, Cole Willard, running everything on the production side. Thank you for tuning in tonight on Fuller Digital Solutions. 12 minutes in the books, Underwood with a 7-0 lead. Be 2nd and 9 for the Knights at their 21-yard line when we resume action.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Senior, 8 carries, 29 yards last week. Will be a 5-yard penalty against the Knights. Will bring up a 2nd and 14 at their 16. Baiting back to throw. Screen pass is set up. Nicely read by number 17, Nick McKenzie, and Graham Jensen. Short loss on the play. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Knights. Nice read there by McKenzie and Graham Jensen, 2 seniors. This Eagle team is full of seniors. Got a little taste of Dome football last year, first time in a few years. A lot of these kids were on the state baseball team this year, so they were able to do that. So coming into a hostile situation like they have here in Kuemper tonight, it's not really going to faze them a whole lot. Baiting back to pass. Pass is caught by number 4, Carson Canny. There were 4 guys literally right where the ball was. The ball was tipped. And Canny on the spot brings back memories of Michael Westbrook in the Michigan-Colorado game back in the day. That'll breathe a little sigh of relief if you're a Knight fan. Be 1st and 10 now for Kuemper at the Eagle 40. Hoffman in motion. Sanders on the carry. Schoening and Jensen on the stop. Sam Schoening has had a really nice, 5 quarters if you call what we were at so far. Last week he led the team in tackles with 10. 9 of those were solo from that safety position, so almost like a run blitz type of safety for Coach Ritter's defense. 10:15 remaining in the first half, a fast-moving first half. Baiting back to pass, pressure by McKenzie, looking over the middle. It's caught by number 6, Ben Gherkin. Baiting just threw that one up and had Birkin go and get it. Birkin measures 6'1", 165. The safeties for the Eagles, Josh Ravlin at 5'10", and Sam Schoening at 5'10", so not a huge advantage. Kuemper goes quick, and touchdown Carroll. Baiting's touchdown pass to John Bowes from 12 yards out. Kuemper went quick, kind of caught Underwood flat-footed, and with the PAT attempt by Tommy Fitzsimmons, and it's no good. The kick is to the right. 10 minutes, 2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Underwood with the 7-6 lead here at Carroll Athletic Field. You're watching Fuller Digital Solutions.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
And welcome back here to Carroll. Thank you to sponsor John Brocker and Brocker Financial. 10:02 remaining in the first half. Underwood with a 7-6 lead. Kuemper just missed their PAT attempt on a 12-yard touchdown pass. Set to kick for the Knights will be number 16, Tommy Fitzsimmons. Looks like Riley Sealock and Easton Robertson back deep for the Eagles. Riley's a different one back there. Usually Mason Boothby back returning kicks. Coach Williams, the special teams coordinator, mixing it up a little bit, putting Riley back there. Fitzsimmons' kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. A couple good kickers here tonight with Bayshore and Fitzsimmons both. Be a 1st and 10. Underwood at their 20-yard line. Underwood scored on their last possession off the Kuemper turnover. Let's see if they can march the 80 yards down the field and hit pay dirt in this next drive. Kuemper too deep, almost a cover 2 look. Lutt hands to Nelson. Nelson dropped after they're going to call it no gain on the play. Initial contact there by number 60, Kobe Pierce. Will be a 2nd 10. Again, Lutt avoids trouble, gets the pass to Ravlin. Kuemper coaches beside themselves on the sideline, not sure what they're looking at. Lutt was definitely behind the line. The only thing could possibly be if Josh Ravlin was considered covered up. But Play stands. It'll be 3rd and 3. Let back to pass. Pass complete to Josh Ravlin. Right at the marker. Picked up just enough for the first down. 8.5 remaining here in the first half. Graham Jensen's first carry of the night. Picks up about 2 or 3 over the left side. Call it 2nd 8 at the Eagle 33. Trips to the far side. Josh Ravlin with man coverage on the near side. Let's pass. Dropped by number 23, Mason Boothby. Bring up a 3rd and 8 at the 33. 7:42 remaining in the first half. And a beautiful night here in Carroll, Iowa. Again, looking across the field. See the left side of the infield at Merchants Park. Just an absolutely beautiful ballpark. Great venue for Kuemper and Carroll High, as well as the state tournament for 1A and 2A. They do a fabulous job of hosting. But we're here for football. What? Pass to Robertson. And sniffed out by number 53, Tate Barrett. Nice play by Barrett to Reed Robinson going across the middle. We'll bring up a 4th down for the Eagles. Back to punt is Mason Boothby. And set to receive at about his 35. Get you a number here in a second. And that was Carson Canny, fair catch called at the Kuemper 42-yard line. 7 minutes exactly remaining here in the first half. A little bit of Ironman football going on for both groups. You've got a lot of the skilled position players at linebacker and defensive backs for the Eagles. And it looks like we're going to have a official water break here. So first one of the game. 7-6 Underwood, 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. You're listening to and watching Fuller Digital Solutions. And welcome back here to Carroll after the water timeout. It will be a 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 42-yard line. Bating still in, sophomore quarterback. Bating looking deep for Kasperbauer. Touchdown, 58 yards. On the pass from Bating to Kasperbauer. Looked like a little confusion In the Eagles secondary, Kasperbauer was able to get some separation, and Bading hit him in stride. Kuemper will line up and go for two with a 12-7 lead now. One play, 52 yards for the Knights' touchdown. Trips to the near side for Kuemper. Bading on the slant, and it's caught by Gherkin for the 2-point conversion. .648 remaining in the first half. Kuemper now 14, Underwood 7. We'll keep it here. Again, nice drive and pitch and catch by Bading there. Hitting receivers, nice 2-point conversion. That's, unless you get your hands up as a defensive end or establish inside position, that slant off a 2-point conversion is almost impossible to defend. The only other thing I can think of, and again, I'm not a football guy, but the only other thing I can think of is running a hard, almost like a 3-yard curl and just posting up like a post player in basketball. Get them on your back and get some size. But that was a nice pitch and catch there by Bading to Gherkin. So Fitzsimmons is set to kick again for the Knights. Robertson and Seelock back deep again for the Eagles. We haven't seen any kick returns tonight, with Bayshore and Fitzsimmons putting all of their kicks into the end zone. And this is no exception. So it'll be 1st and 10 Eagles at their 20-yard line. Let's see if the Eagles can establish some consistency now in their offense. First and 10 Eagles. Van Fossen set up in motion now. Pass complete. Lutt to Boothby. Boothby picks up about, call it 8 on the play. Nice first down completion for the Eagles. 2nd and 2. 6.5 remaining here in the first quarter, in the first half. High snap. Lutt's pass complete to Boothby. Boothby out to the 40. There is a flag on the play. This is the second penalty of the ball game. We've got an ineligible player downfield. Somebody was, either the line went a little farther than they needed to, or they had a receiver go out for the pass that shouldn't have. But regardless, it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll remain 2nd down. Maddox Nelson the carry. And stopped by number 10, Jake Earlbeck. We mentioned this in the first quarter, that it looks to me like Kuemper is really keying in on the run and kind of making the inexperience of the Underwood line really have to work. They're going to make Garrett Lutt beat him through the air. And they've been able to kind of make Underwood a one-dimensional team right now. 3rd and 5, 5.5 remaining. Run pass option. Lutt's going to take it, and he's going to get the first down. Nice scramble by Garrett Lutt out to the 33-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Underwood. Good coverage by the Kuemper secondary. Lutt tucks it and run for an Eagle first down. 5.5 remaining here in the first half. Underwood at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Nelson on the carry. Nice tackle in the backfield by number 53, Tate Barrett. We've called his name several times this evening. Budgetary restrictions don't allow us to have a statistician, so we're going to say that's probably his 4th or 5th tackle this evening. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12, 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Lutt back to pass, looking deep to Boothby. Lutt's pass is intercepted by number 4, Carson Canny. Pass looked a little bit underthrown. Be the first turnover for the Eagles this evening. Kuemper will take over possession at their own 29-yard line. 4:50 remaining in the first half. They can run out the clock, and then they will receive, or Underwood will receive the opening kick in the second half. Trips to the near side for the Knights. Baiting back to pass. Baiting's looking deep again. For number 6, Ben Gherkin. Coverage by Easton Robertson. Again, not much Robertson can do on that. Coach Ritter calls timeout and doesn't even wait for the officials to call it. He's out there. He's storming mad at the Underwood defense. Pickup of 2 on the play. Baiting back to pass. Again, he's got 3 deep. Baiting's pass complete to number 32, Kent Sanders. Riker Adair from his defensive end position out to make the tackle. 3rd and 8, just under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. If you're Kuemper, you probably aren't in a really big hurry. You've got 2 timeouts left. Or excuse me, you've got 3 timeouts left. You don't want to give Underwood, with their their ability to score quickly, you don't want to give them a lot of time. Tarks on the pressure of Baiting. The ball was tipped several times. Van Fossen and Ravlin on the tip, but the ball falls incomplete. We'll bring up a 4th down. We'll call it a pep talk from Coach Ritter. Must have paid huge dividends for him. They looked like a completely different defense after the timeout was called. Gherkin back to kick at his 50-yard line. Boothby kind of as a single safety at about the 25 of Underwood. That is a really, really good kick by Gherkin. Put a little English on it. Ball's marked out of bounds deep in Eagles territory at the 6-yard line. So the Eagles, if they want to score, have to go 94 yards in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Again, the good news, if you're an Underwood fan, is that they will have the ball as we start the second half. So in a perfect world, you go down, you score 7, you get the ball back in the second half, and you score another 7. You flip this game 180 degrees. But we'll have to see what happens here. Leo Casson at center tonight. Maddox Nelson single back. Handoff to Nelson. Busted outside. Nice run by Maddox Nelson. Good vision there. That's a huge run for the Eagle offense going from the 6-yard line out to the 19. Nice run by Maddox Nelson of 13 yards. 1st and 10. 3:15 remaining in the first half. Lutt looking deep to Boothby. Touchdown, Underwood. As if on cue, if you're Kuemper, that's what you did not want. An 81-yard pitch and catch from Lutt to Boothby. And we're a Gus Bayshore PAT attempt from tying this up. Not only is that potentially going to tie the score, that's a huge momentum shift for the Eagles with the remaining 2:54 remaining in the first half, as well as going into halftime. And Bayshore's PAT attempt is good. We're tied at 14 with 2:54 remaining in the first half. And we're ready to finish out this first half here. Gus Bayshore set to kick. If everything stays true, he's going to kick it into the end zone. Looks like Kuemper is back now, right at the goal line. Earlbeck and Caney. And this one will be returned. Caney with return out to about the 20-yard line, tackled by Riley Sealock. Bating still in at quarterback for the Knights. Sanders on the carry. Jaden Kilwater-Foot along with Jack Van Fossen on the stop. Pickup of 7 will be 2nd and 3. Looks like about the 27-yard line of the Knights. Baiting on the pitch to Sanders. Tackled by Van Fossen right in his tracks. A short loss on the play. Again, you almost kind of wonder, Kuemper kind of draining the clock, if they would have been better served doing that in the last possession. Of course, it's always, looking back. Intercepted! Ball was tipped and picked off by Mason Boothby. And just as we mentioned, it is 14-14, 1:18 remaining in the first half, with Underwood with great field position, still having 2 timeouts at the Knights' 37. Boothby in motion, handoff to Nelson. And not much there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Be no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Lutt back. Pass to Boothby is complete at the 33-yard line. Pickup of about 2. The 3rd and 6 with 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Underwood looking to score and maybe get a 2-4-1 with the points here and then points coming out of the half. Lutt back to pass. He's got a man wide open. Josh Ravlin right in the middle of the zone. Lutt's pass to Ravlin is complete to the Knight 17-yard line. 40 seconds remaining. And Underwood will take their second timeout. So Underwood, again, starting to find a little bit of rhythm on the offensive end, making Garrett Lutt beat the Knights' defense. Knights looking to take away the run. And it really looks like Garrett's kind of in a nice rhythm now, finding his open receivers. Nice job, of course, by the offensive line. Kind of forget about those guys up front. A lot of times, we think about the skill position players. Skill position players, you might be able to outrun people, but if your quarterback doesn't have a lot of time to do anything, your skill position players aren't much. So the offensive line, again, a little banged up tonight, is doing a really nice job. We get the starters back coming into next week, and hopefully next week and later on down the line, the depth that Coach McHalson is going to have on the offensive defensive line is going to pay huge dividends for the Eagles. So we're back. 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Underwood with the 1st and 10 at the Kuemper Knight 17-yard line. Nelson the lone. Let's pass complete to Ravlin. Nice move by Josh. And it looks like it'll be about a pickup of 7 on the play. So it'll be 1st and 3 at the 10. 20 seconds left. Down to 15. Lutt drops back to pass. The pass was intended for Van Fossen on the skinny post. Nice defensive read there by number 5, John Bowes. he had a head of steam moving forward, just got a little bit ahead of himself. So the Eagles will maintain possession. 3rd and 3, 9 seconds left. 14-14 ball game. Almost looks like a slant pattern for Boothby if Lutt wants it. Lutt's pass. Incomplete. 6 seconds left, and we're going to see a field goal attempt here by number 7, Gus Bayshore. This will be Gus's first PAT attempt on the season. Be about a 27-yard field goal attempt for Bayshore. 6 seconds remaining. Good snap, good hold. And the kick is good. He sneaks it through the left uprights as time expires. So, Underwood will go into halftime with a 17-14 lead on the road at Carroll Kuemper. We'll have some scores for you when we come back. You're listening to Fuller Digital Solutions. And we're back here at halftime at Carroll Athletic Field with the Eagles up 17-14 over the Kuemper Knights. Just got done recognizing the Kuemper Catholic cross-country team, so we'll take a few minutes to run down some scores courtesy of KMA. So, scores from around the region. Most of these are at the half. St. Albert 3, West Monona 0. Lewis Central 7, Creston 6. Your score here in Carroll, Underwood 17, Kuemper 14. West Central Valley 21, Shenandoah 7. Trainer 21, Tri-Center 6. South Central Calhoun 34, Southwest Valley 0 at half. The Fighting Rob Ambroses and I guess he's the only one. Bedford Bulldogs 42, Murray Mustangs 12. Bishop Heelan 50-0 over AL. So Heelan again after the 3-point win versus Kuemper last week, putting on an offensive show against the Lynx. Nottoway Valley and Central Decatur tied at 0. Coon Rapids 7, Baxter 0. Harlan 14, Denison 6. Fremont Mills 14, Lennox 16. Sydney 20, East Mills 18. Audubon 22, Colonesco 8. Clarinda 32, Red Oak 0. Avoca 35, Riverside 0. Glenwood 41, and Atlantic 0. So those are your scores from around the area. We've got about 8.5 minutes left in half. The Kuemper Band is taking the field. We'll go ahead and step aside. You're listening to Fuller Digital Solutions.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible, the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
And welcome back to Carroll Athletic Field. About 3.5 minutes remaining in halftime. Underwood with a 17-14 lead. Again, Andy Van Fossen along with cameraman, ad runner, jack of all trades, Cole Willard. Cole and I were talking it during the break. It seems like the little more action in this game than last time. Game kind of started out slow, but a lot of offensive fireworks. Eagles scored 10 unanswered to give them a 14-7 lead going into halftime. So they will also be receiving the football. One of the, I guess for me, and not knowing anything, necessarily that's going on with actually, any of Kuemper, but not seeing DJ Vanami back behind center. He was all district quarterback last year, and he is going to walk on at Iowa, and he's got the size at 6'4", 210. So he's a big athletic kid, and again, he hasn't been back behind center. You wonder if that's something that Coach Steinkamp, maybe he's going to play him in the second half, or just they're trying to get, him some reps at tight end. And Bating's done a great job for Kuemper. Led him on 2 touchdown drives, throwing some nice balls out there and helping, Sanders helping in the running game. So they've been able to move the ball. From Underwood, Maddox Nelson is the workhorse. We haven't seen much of Graham Jensen back there in the backfield behind Garrett Lutt. Lutt has 2 touchdown passes, one to Easton Robertson and one to Mason Boothby from 81 yards out, and then a Gus Bayshore field goal as time expired in the first half give the Eagles the 17-6 lead going here into the third quarter. Watching some of these kids kick out here for Kuemper reminds me of the story of Mike Leach when he was at Texas Tech. He was struggling with finding a field goal kicker, and they had a contest very similar to what the Kuemper students were doing here. The young man came out of the stands. I can't remember if it was a PAT or if it was farther than that, but absolutely drilled it. Coach Leach sends one of his assistants up, or one of his grad assistants or student assistants up to the stands to find the young man, brought him down, and the next week he was kicking for the Red Raiders. So they've got a good kicker here in Fitzsimmons, so I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. Just about ready to start here. We got 20 seconds and then the additional 3 minutes that the officials will put on the clock before we start the second half. Schedule coming up here for Underwood, as mentioned before, homecoming next week already after about 2.5 weeks of school against St. Albert. And then they will get district play, Avoca, Shenandoah, Trainer, Mo Valley, and then in the season, the regular season on October 13th with Red Oak. Kuemper moved up a class this year. They're 2A, hosting Underwood tonight. Next week, they'll have almost kind of like looking in the mirror of HSTW, Luke Sternberg, solid runner, brother of Kyle Sternberg, who was a really good athlete, basketball, football player, track runner for Avoca. Then the Knights are on the road at Roland Story, at Greene County, Des Moines Christian, Sadell, and they finish up their regular season against Southeast Valley. So a little bit different schedule than we saw from Kuemper last year. Underwood with a couple new faces in Mo Valley and Red Oak. But again, a lot of conference schools with Avoca, Trainer, Mo Valley kind of be at the head of the list. So both these schools will see these same teams next year as the state goes out with their 2-year cycles. So next year the Knights will be heading south to visit the Eagles. For the Eagles, and Fitzsimmons again set to kick. So we go in the same way that we started. And here we go. And Fitzsimmons kicked into the end zone for a touchback. Underwood will start 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. So again, without really having the stats or anything, Mason Boothby with over 100 yards in receiving in the first half. Maddox Nelson right around probably 40 or 50 yards as on cue. He gets the opening carry, and he'll pick up about 2 on the play, upended by number 10, Jake Earlbeck. Guess they'll give him a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9. What back to pass, complete to Jack Van Fossen. And they'll give forward progress out to the 28-yard line, tackled by number 51, Evan Adams. They'll bring up a 3rd and 3. It's Van Fossen's second catch of the evening. And we've got a flag on the play and timeout, Underwood. Play clock was down 0. Coach Richards was changing the plays multiple times. And with 10:42 remaining in the third quarter, Underwood will have to spend a timeout. Again, thank you to tonight's sponsors. Just kind of looking over my shoulder at what Mr. Willer's putting out there. Dave Lyons, Towing, John Brocker, Midline Seed, John Tarks. Those are our sponsors for this evening. So thank you to those businesses for all of your support of Underwood Athletics. Third and 2, back to action here after the short timeout. 3rd and 2. Lutz pass complete to Van Fossen. Knocked out of bounds by Vanami. And we've got a flag on the play. Again, an eligible receiver downfield on the Eagles will negate the first down and bring up a 3rd and 7 with 10.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Lutt did a nice job there of directing Van Fossen to get past the first down marker and a little touch pass over the top, but the ineligible receiver downfield call will negate that, so we'll bring up a 3rd and 7 at the 23. 10.5 remaining here in the first half, or excuse me, the second half. Josh Ravlin with the catch and a first down at the 32-yard line. Maddox Nelson on the carry. And pickup of about 3 on the play. Number 53, Tate Barrett on the stop. And we've got a injured Knight down. So we'll take a quick break here. 10-11 remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 7 when we come back. This is Fuller Digital Solution.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
Robertson in motion. Give to Nelson, and he's drugged down in the backfield by a nice defensive play by Kent Sanders. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8. Blutt's going to tuck it and run, and depending on the spot, it looks like he's right at the marker. It'll be a first down for Underwood. Nice decision making there by Garrett Lutt to pick up the necessary yards for the first down. First and 10 at the 43, 9.5 remaining. Run pass option. There's a hole for Maddox Nelson to run through. Good strong run by Nelson. Chugging to the Kuemper 35-yard line. Be first and 10. Nice job up front by the line to spring Maddox Nelson for by far his farthest run of the evening. Nelson on the carry again. Back to it. Some missed tackles. Nelson inside the red zone. First and 10, Eagles. Again, we kind of got stuck here, but Kirk Hughes, our guidance counselor, was able to point out Nelson's run that time. And that time, Kuemper is ready for it. Stopped by number 10, Jake Earlbeck, for a short loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Got, looks like a timeout is called by Underwood. That's their second of the half with 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Underwood has to burn another timeout. And out of the timeout, Underwood will still maintain possession. It'll be 2nd and 11 at the 18. 8 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Underwood's opening drive of the third quarter started at the 20, inside Knight territory at their 18. Run pass option. Lutt is sacked in the backfield by number 7, Jace Hoffman. And number 32, Kent Sanders. Loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 17 at the 24. Lutt rolling left. Pass complete to Robertson. Robertson stopped immediately by Gherkin. It'll be 4th and 8. And it looks like the Eagles are going to kick or attempt a field goal. This will be from about 32 yards out. This will be Bayshore's second attempt on the evening. He was good on his last attempt. And the kick is wide right. So Kuemper holds with 6:53 remaining in the third quarter. The Knights dodge a bullet there. Will take over possession. And Brock Bading will stay in at quarterback. Trips to the near side for the Knights. Sanders on the carry. And from this vantage point, looks like just a couple yard gain. Max Tarks on the stop for the Eagles. They'll give him 3, 2nd 7 at the Knights 18. In trips near side for the Knights. Baiting back to pass. Pass is complete. To number 4, Carson Caney. And we've got an Eagle down at the 30-yard line. And it looks like it's Riley Seelock, the sophomore cornerback, getting his first start. And into the game also for the Eagles is junior number 32, Will Buckholt. And good to see Seelock walking off on his own, maybe a little stinger. He'll get back in there. He's a competitor. So 1st and 10, Kuemper at the at the Knight 31-yard line. Baiting back to pass. Pressure by Tarks. And Baiting's pass out of bounds. Intended for Jake Heisman. Good pressure there by Tarks. Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Knights. 5:58 remaining in the third quarter. Sanders on the carry. Van Vossen and Jensen on the stop. Look of about 4 on the play. Bring up about a 3rd and 6 at the Knight 34. Van Vossen on the blitz, and they had Gherkin on the quick slant, not able to hang on to the pass, and the Eagles will hold. So both sides, Eagles with a little bit better drive, a little more field, but the Knights were able to get out of the shadow of their own end zone and bring up a 4th and 6. Gherkin back to kick, and Mason Boothby at the 30-yard line for the Eagles. And Gherkin's kick goes out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Underwood. Again, thank you to our sponsors tonight, Don Lyons Towing, Arrow Towing, Midline Seed, and Brocker Financial. We appreciate your support of Underwood Athletics. Again, as we mentioned, this is kind of a makeshift line tonight. The only two, or the three regulars, Grady Jones, Jaden Kildabarta-Foot, and Max Tarks are still in there, but Leo Casson at center and Riker Adair getting a start on the offensive line. They've really kind of turned up the intensity a little bit and done a really nice job on the line. Okay, right there's a pickup of 3 for Nelson. Going over left side. 2nd and 7 at the 34. A little counter play by the Eagles is defended nicely by the Knights. Number 60, Kobe Pierce on the stop will bring up a 3rd and 7 at the Eagle 35. 4:18 remaining in the third quarter. Underwood with a 17-14 lead here in Carroll. Beautiful night here in Carroll for football. An early fall state-ranked clout. What pass intended for Easton Robertson and is incomplete. Lutt tried to thread the needle there to Easton and defended by the Knights. So the Knights hold on the defensive side, bringing in the punt unit for the Eagles. Mason Booth will be back to kick for Underwood, and set to receive for the Knights will be number 4, Carson Caney. Fair catch is called for and caught. And it will be Knights ball, 3:55 remaining now in the third quarter at their 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Sanders in motion, baiting on the keeper. Van Vossen on the stop. Pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the Knights 36. And flag on the play. Looks like we've got a procedure call against the Knights. So that will negate that 5-yard gain and put them in a 2nd and 10 situation. Baiting back to pass, looking for one-on-one coverage, and just overshoots Canny. Nice coverage there by Josh Ravlin. That ball had to be thrown exactly on the mark, and baiting just overshot his receiver. Nice coverage there by Josh. Trips to the near side. Sanders on Bating's left. Bating back to pass. And the pass is complete to Jake Huseman, and he will be about a yard short. So decision time for Coach Steinkamp. 4th and 1 at the Knights 40 with 2:45 remaining in the third quarter. And it looks like Coach Steinkamp's going to roll the dice and go for it. He thinks that his offensive line might be able to get a push and get that 1 yard. And they're going to take the delay of game, it looks like. Bating tried to draw the Eagles off sides. The Eagles, good discipline there by the defense, and that will send out the punt unit for Kuemper. Ben Gherkin doing the kicking again for the Knights. So that 5-yard penalty really hurt the momentum that Kuemper had after that first play. And they weren't able necessarily to make up that 5 yards, so they're going to be forced to kick. And fair catch is called for and taken at the Eagle 26-yard line. 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. No scoring so far in this quarter. It's 17-14 Underwood. In 1st and 10 Eagles at the 26. Lutt in the shotgun. Give to Maddox Nelson. And Maddox will pick up about 3 yards on the play. Tackle by number 32, Kent Sanders, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Trips to the near side for the Eagles. Nelson on Lutt's right. Single coverage at the top of your screen. Little screen pass complete to Ravlin. Ravlin to the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1 with 1:24 remaining in the third quarter. And the hard count looks like it might have worked in the Eagles' favor. Flag on the play. Encroachment is called against the Knights. So 5-yard penalty will be a 1st and 10 for Underwood at their 40-yard line. Lutt back to pass. Again, nice job by the offensive line. And he throws it away. Good job by the offensive line. You got to give kudos to the Kuemper secondary, though. Lutt had nobody to throw to, so just one of those plays you chalk up as good work on both sides. Live to fight another day. 2nd 10 at the 40, 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Nelson in the pistol, give to Nelson, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage by number 60, Kobe Pierce. Kind of a slow developing play, and Pierce was able to maintain his ground and make the stop. So 3rd and we'll call it a long 9 for the Eagles. Give to Nelson, And he is stopped well short of the first down. And that will be the end of the third quarter. So no scoring in the third quarter, but Eagles up 17-14 heading into the fourth quarter. We'll be back. You're listening to Fuller Digital Solutions. Next time out, we'll give you some scores, courtesy of KMA. Fair catch called for, and he gets a good bounce inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So Kuemper will take over, 11:48 remaining in the ball game, at their 14. Again, some scores from around the area. Mount Air 29, Wayne 0, Avoca 41, Riverside 0, Bedford 56, Murray 12, Heelan 57, AL 6, Central Decatur 14, Nottoway Valley 0, St. Albert 17, West Monona 8, Lennox 32, Fremont Mills 14, Exira 24, Stanton 14, Coon Rapids 15, Baxter 6, Harlan 21, Denison 12, Trainer 21, Tri-Center 6, and Glenwood 47-0 over Atlantic. Carry by Cason Pierce. It's his second carry of the game. And they'll pick up a 4, stopped by Graham Jensen. Baiting on the keeper. Nice gap responsibility by number 22, Graham Jensen. Minimal gain on the play. Baiting back to pass. Evades the pressure. Almost intercepted by Josh Ravlin. Pass was intended for Carson Canny. It'll be a 3-and-out for the Knights. Ask Josh, you'd want that one back. It's one he usually holds on to, but he does the job and forces the Knights into a 3-and-out. Gherkin's kick is fair caught at the Eagle 48-yard line. Be 1st and 10, Underwood, with 10:22 remaining
in the ball game. Thank you for joining us this evening. Again, beautiful night here in Carroll. Great complex. Perfect weather. Good night for Friday night football. Maddox Nelson on the carry. They're going to give him 11 on that play. Nice job up front by the left side of the line. Riker Adair and Max Tarks give Nelson 11. It'll be 1st and 10. Again, compared to last week, like we said at the beginning, that 1 week difference between week 1 and week 2, the Eagles look really fresh tonight as opposed to last week. Lutt struggles with the snap, but does complete the pass for a 6-yard gain to Easton Robertson. So nice athletic play by Garrett Lutt. And Easton completes the play with a pickup of 6. 9.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Underwood driving at the Kuemper 35. Nelson on the carry. And he'll pick up a couple there. Tackled by number 75, Bryce Wiskus. It'll be 3rd and short. Graham Jensen into the game for Robertson, so we're going with a 2 running back look. Looks like a Wildcat set. It's going to be a direct snap to Nelson. And depending on where they spot it, and they're going to give it to him. So 1st down, Underwood at the Kuemper 31. Lutt looking for Ravlin, and nice defensive play there by number 6, Gherkin. Bring up a 2nd 10 with 8:20 remaining in the ball game. Underwood at the 31-yard line. Hand off to Nelson, up the middle. Good, strong run by Maddox Nelson. Not to be denied. He's going to pick up an extra 10 yards and bring up a 1st and goal at the 10 for the Eagles. Nice job by Maddox Nelson with a good, strong run. Pistol set now. Nelson behind Lutt. Hand off to Nelson. Touchdown, Underwood. Maddox Nelson from 10 yards out. Again, great job by the offensive line executing and opening the holes for Maddox Nelson. They just look like they've got their second wind tonight. Kind of like you almost wish they would have had last week against Van Meter. They look refreshed tonight, and they're playing like it. Bayshore's PAT attempt is good. 7:55 remaining in the ball game. Underwood now with a 10-point lead, 24-14. like to thank Cole Willard for running the camera tonight, running the score, running the ads, just doing everything. He's a freshman, and he's doing a really good job, so thank you to Cole. Bayshore back to kick to Casper Bauer and Canny. Bayshore's kick this time is going to be returned by Caney. Makes a move. And nice return by Caney out to the 32-yard line. Tackled by Sam Schoening. So Kuemper down 10 with 7:46 remaining in the ball game. Pretty decent starting field position at their 31. Baiting looking deep. And the pass is incomplete. Casper Bauer, the intended receiver. Easton Robertson step for step with him. Nice play and nice defense there by Robertson. Baiting back to throw. Looking deep. The pass is intercepted by Josh Ravlin. There's a flag, though, at the 50. If Underwood maintains possession, it'll be marked out at their 45-yard line. Pass interference is called against the Eagles. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for Kuemper. So the drive remains alive. 7:29 remaining in the ball game. Not a spot foul in high school, just a 15-yard penalty. So the 15 yards will give the Knights a first down at their 46-yard line. And flag on the play. Looks like Kuemper will be called for the procedure play. It'll be a a penalty of 5 yards. Back him up 5. And first and 15. No time off the clock. Now at the Knight 41-yard line. Pierce on the carry, met immediately by Tarks and Jensen. .6:58 remaining in the game. 2nd 15 for the Knights at their 41. Baiting back to throw, out into the flat. And Carson Caney tackled by Van Fossen. And we've got an injury on the field. So we'll take a quick break. 6:38 remaining in the ball game. When we return, Kuemper will be 3rd and 11 at their 45. You're listening to Forward Digital Solutions. number 59, Kyle Sundrup, was the injured knight. Good to see him walking off the field. Might be a little bit different next week for both teams. It's supposed to get hot again. We've only had one water timeout tonight. Not as much cramping and everything going on. It looks like, though, might have a little cramping issue here with Sundrup. So, 3rd and 11, 6:38 remaining in the game. Ball at the Knight 45-yard line. It's almost 4-down territory here for the Knights. Trips to the near side. Baiting back. Looks like they're setting up the screen. Wide open. Oh, he missed. John Bowes. Wide open. He just overshot him. There wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him. And the Eagles definitely dodge a bullet on that one. So it'll be a 4th and 11, 6:19 remaining at the Knight 45-yard line. Baiting back to pass. Pressure by Jensen again, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Sam Schoening and returned to the Eagle 44-yard line. So the Eagle defense not only holds, but they get the turnover. Good pressure by Graham Jensen to make Baiting maybe get rid of the ball a little sooner than he wanted to. And the Eagles secondary doing their job. So we got 6:08 remaining in the ball game. 1st and 10 Underwood at their 44-yard line. Nelson in the backfield along with Lutt. Nelson on the carry. And he'll pick up about 4 on the play. And Nelson has been a workhorse tonight for the Eagle offense. 2nd and 6 at the 48. Clock is definitely your friend now here if you're the Eagle offense, down to 10 on the play clock, 5.5 remaining in the ball game. Nelson on the carry, eludes one tackle, and drugged down by number 51, Evan Adams. It'll be a 3rd and 2, 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Nelson on the carry. He's got the 1st down and more. Nice lead block by Graham Jensen. 1st and 10 Eagles in Knight territory inside their 41-yard line. 4.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. If Underwood can run this clock out, this will be a great bounce-back win for them coming on the road and playing a state-rated two-way Kuemper team. Again, the Eagles look content to run as much clock as they can. They're down to 4 on the play clock. 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Play clock's at 0, and Underwood will take their 3rd and final timeout. So, 4:01 remaining in the ball game. Underwood with a 10-point lead, 24-14 over Kuemper. Again, next week for the Eagles is homecoming week on a short week against St. Albert. Kuemper will turn their attention to another WIC competitor in AHSTW. So, again, it's going to be back-to-back weeks for Kuemper playing against the Western Iowa Conference. and back-to-back weeks for the Eagles playing against Hawkeye 10 foes. So here we go, 1st and 10, back to action. Underwood is out of timeouts. Kuemper still has all 3. Run pass option, looking for Ravland. And incomplete. Jake Huseman on the coverage, the 50-50 ball, and just fell out of the grasp of Josh. So it'll be a 2nd and 10. Jensen stays in the game at running back as Nelson kind of limps off the field. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he might tweak an ankle. Graham Jensen on the carry. And they're going to give Graham about half a yard on the play. Number 53, Tate Barrett on the stop. 3rd and 9, 3.5 remaining in the ball game. Lutz pass is knocked down by number 51, Evan Adams. That's a big stop for the Knights. Gives them still 3 minutes to work with. And that'll bring on the punting unit for the Eagles. So they're looking to pin the Knights deep, make them use all 3 minutes, and with that 10-point lead, it's a 2-score game. So if you're Underwood, kick it deep. You're perfectly content with giving up 5-10 yards of play, keep that clock running, and walk out of here with a victory. And looks like some special teams confusion for the Knights, which will force them to burn one of their timeouts. So 3 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the ball game. Underwood 24, Carroll Kuemper 14. As we mentioned earlier, this is becoming a good kind of a gauge for both schools, not only in football, but baseball, some track and things like that, basketball. I think this is really, potentially going to be a good two-way rivalry for both schools. Everybody's cyclical. Underwood's going through a good run of athletes. Kuemper's always going to have good athletes and good programs. So I think this is going to benefit both schools. And with Kuemper moving up to two-way this year, kind of opens up a little bit of room on the western side of the state for Underwood. But Underwood still has to take care of business to get where they want to be at the end of the year. So Boothby back to kick. And Canny set to return. And Boothby's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So that's the best case scenario for the Knights. Outside of breaking one for 6, they're going to be 1st and 10 at the 20 with 7 seconds only coming off the clock. So they've got 2 timeouts, 2:56 remaining on the clock. Underwood with a 10-point lead. And the Knights have to score twice. So not impossible, but the way Underwood's defense has been playing since Coach Ritter kind of let them have it in the middle of that second quarter, it's going to be tough for the Knights to string 10 points together in a short amount of time. Baiting back to throw. Vanami on the reception. It's the first time we've called his name tonight. Tackle by Van Fossen. That's his tackle on the evening. And again, Benami, the walk-on at Iowa, haven't said as much tonight. He's been playing on defense most of the time, and they're definitely trying to go to him now. It's going to be interesting to see if they do that with Benami 6'4", and Van Fossen listed at 6'3". Benami's got him about 15 pounds, but Van Fossen looks like he's up to the challenge to guard the future Iowa Hawkeye. Batting's pass to Van Nami, complete. Tripped up by Nelson. Again, you're getting a steady diet now of Van Nami. It'll be 3rd and 1, 2:25 remaining in the ball game. Still a lot of time being taken by the Knights getting to the line. Bating looks to his right and completes the pass to number 6, Ben Gherkin. Riley Seelock on the stop along with Van Fossen. And we've got an injured Knight on the play. So we'll take a quick break. 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the ball game. Underwood with a 10-point lead, with Kuemper driving. Gherkin up. He's been all over the field tonight. Again, it looks like a little bit of cramp action in my expert medical opinion. Clock running. Bating taking his time back, looking deep. And the pass is intercepted by Mason Boothby at the Eagle 17, so that pretty much will do it, barring some misfortune by the Eagle offense. Kuemper has 2 timeouts left and 1:49 remaining in the game. Underwood still spreading the defense out. Nelson back into the game for the Eagles. Nelson on the carry. Again, good strong run by Maddox Nelson out to the 20-yard line. And 1:38 remaining in the ballgame. Kuemper will take their second timeout. So if you're Underwood, you've got to be real happy with the bounce back game, actually, for about 2.5 quarters. First quarter was a little slow, and Coach Ritter had to come out, have some attitude adjustments, it looked like, from up here, and they've been a different ball team, especially on the defensive end, ever since. Going into the St. Albert game, St. Albert's a proud program. They're down a little bit this year, and coming into homecoming against a team that has played 2.5 quarters of really good football, playing the 2A number 1 team and playing the 2A number 9 team, you got to feel pretty good if you're Underwood going into next week's game against the Falcons. Kuemper will have a little bit different look next week against Avoca. Again, Luke Sternberg, a big runner, and it looks like the Eagles are going to walk away with this Wildcat formation. Maddox Nelson with another 20-some yard chunk play there will bring up 1st and 10 at the 42, a minute and a half remaining in the ball game. So Underwood could take 2 snaps and call it good if Kuemper does not burn their timeout. It looks like the coaches are kind of taking their headsets off, taking the play sheets down, so it looks like Underwood is going to walk away here with a 24-14 victory against a good Kuemper Knights team. And I have no authority to do so, but if I had to give a player of the game, I'd actually probably give it to 2 people. I'd give it to Maddox Nelson for the strong running that he had, especially in the second half. And I'd also, if I could, give it to the offensive line. Like we've said, the offensive line had a couple starters out tonight. They were able to step up after they got into a rhythm and really did a nice job on the front to open up the holes for Maddox Nelson and Graham Jensen and give Lutt time to throw the ball down the field. So, again, if I had any authority to give anybody game balls, it would be to Maddox Nelson and the offensive line for Underwood. So that will do it. Underwood coming into Carroll Athletic Field and leaving with a 24-14 victory over the 2A Kuemper Knights. So, thank you to Cole Willard, all of our sponsors. We'll see you next week back at home against the Falcons.